Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm Jonathan Freedman. Our next guest is Jordan Ross, founder and CEO of Collaborative Senior Care. Welcome to Radio Entrepreneurs.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your organization, what you do. I know you have, as many entrepreneurs, a unique perspective on why you started the business. Give us a sense of why and what it is that you do over at Collaborative Care.
Yeah, so we're an assisted living advisory. So we help seniors find that and really maintain a long-term relationship with the seniors once they find an assisted living community. So we're really a high level white glove concierge helping them really with anything. Could be selling their house, finding a nurse, a geriatric care practitioner to help with their stay at the assisted living community. Really want to provide a high quality of life for them. We're all about finding the right fit in terms of an assisted living community. It could also be memory care and independent living as well.
And so I would assume that part of the impetus for this is, people are at a very vulnerable stage, and it's a part that most people have never navigated before in their lives, and now you get to this point where, you're gonna transition out of a place where you've probably lived for a long time into a whole other world, and it's foreign to most people. Is that sort of the premise?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And a lot of these assisted living communities are run by large corporations. So we really families need a guide to help them really through the process and navigate. It's usually in a very emotional process. And so we really help families. It's not just the senior, but we really help families find that assisted living communities and stay in touch with them over time, which we're really proud of and find a lot of joy in doing.
So the model is you guys are working as advisors, intermediaries, and trying to guide them based on what you know their needs and wants are towards places that can meet those needs.
Exactly. For the really high level advisors, and as I said, we can provide other services as well. If they need a realtor to sell their house, a mover to sell their house, really anything they need related to the senior care and this transition, we can provide through our network.
So one of the challenges that I've seen, because I've got a little bit of experience in the industry, is the providers tend to look at, technical term, I guess, catchment areas as relatively small geographic zones generally, right? People move from their home to hopefully something else. But we have another phenomenon, obviously, in this country, and I think maybe a little bit different than the rest of the world, is you've got families that are very dispersed. So you may have adult children living in another city, and mom and dad are either or one or both moving into a senior care facility. Do they move towards where their kids are? Do they stay local to where they've lived? Those challenges. So are you very hyper focused on the local community? Are you more regional or national in scale and scope? Can you assist? How does that play out?
We're founded in the Boston area, but we do have national reach. So we can help a family find a community all over the country. Usually you're right. Parents usually would want to be close to their adult children. Obviously, it depends on the relationship. But really, we're proud to say that we do have national reach and we can help families all over the country at this point.
What is the prescribed, or what would you say is a sort of best practice approach towards, from a time frame perspective? I think this is one of those life decisions, like many. We're all human, and people put off things as long as possible. Is that one of the challenges that you see? Is that people often feel as though they're against the ticking clock when making these decisions, and feel very, obviously it's an emotional, as you said, and stressful situation, and it's probably compounded by, like, it had to happen not yesterday, but maybe last year or several years ago, and now we're up against there's progressing health issues and mobility issues, potentially cognitive issues, etc. And yet we're trying to make a decision that's very emotional and is hard to make overnight. Is that one of the challenges that you see that people face?
100%. We really believe in planning. A percentage of the people do plan, the percentage of people don't. So yeah, there could be a medical issue where the mom ends up in a medical rehab and then her insurance runs out. So we can help people because we have experts, senior advisors all over the country in a short period, find a community. But, ultimately we'd rather the families plan for this and, develop a long-term relationship with us earlier.
So what is an ideal from your perspective? What does that look like, a time frame? Is that something that people should be planning, I know again, we don't know what the X date is, right? But is that something that is a year, 18 months, a couple of years in advance? What is a reason, or is 6 months adequate? What does that look like?
Certainly earlier is better. I mean, I would say, a year to 2 years would be optimal. I would encourage them to start discussing this with their elder care attorney and their financial advisor. The assisted living communities aren't cheap. Generally they start around $6,000. So, they do require a certain number of resources, and I think that's part of the planning of thinking about, selling the house if necessary, or the assets, and having a family discussion about this.
So, like most things in life, planning leads to preparedness. So, good advice. Jordan, if people want to reach out to you, if they want to learn more about your organization and how you work, what's the best way for them to do that?
You can call me directly, call or text at 617-686-6805, or email me at collaborativeseniorcare@gmail.com, or find us on the web, collaborativeseniorcare.com.
Fantastic. Our guest has been Jordan Ross, founder and CEO of Collaborative Senior Care. It's been a pleasure having you on Radio Entrepreneurs.
Love being here. Thank you.
Thanks for your time. And we'll be right back with another segment on Radio Entrepreneurs.